there, everyone. It's Jenn, the Board Game Librarian, and we're doing a duel review today.
Yes, we are.
We're going to talk about Anno 1800, the latest big box game from Kosmos, 2 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, 120 minutes. Right, yeah, it was pretty approximately. One of the newer ones from Martin Wallace. So, I did not know that this was based off a video game. Did you?
No, I had no idea. But, Jen, what are your thoughts about this?
Well, it broke my brain the first time we played it.
It did.
I don't know why, because we've played other Wallace games before.
And this is not as heavy as.
No. Like, we love Brass, Lancashire, we love Birmingham. You love Birmingham more. We've played Wallace war games.
Yep. We own Lincoln.
Yep.
We've played Wildlands.
Yep.
We also have London, which is another of his economic games.
Yep.
I feel like Martin Wallace either does 19th century England.
Yep.
Or he does history.
Yep. Which is also history.
Which is funny because those have never meshed. He's never done 19th century English war game.
We know of.
Well, that we know of, or that we've played.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will comment about how wrong I am, right?
Oh, goodness. Oh, so spicy. Okay. All right. So again, we haven't played the video game or it's not a computer game, correct?
I think it's computer.
Oh, it's a computer game.
No, I don't know anything about it.
Okay. So having played this, Matt, would you want to go back and play the digital version of this? Well, that's what we'll say it is. Do you have the rule book? I think it says in there.
So let's take a look. As you are looking, I will explain my thoughts about that question.
Okay.
Because I don't know exactly, it's in the back, the entire story of the video game, but I did grow up playing like Age of Empires and Sid Meier's Civ, and this had a lot of the same beats, but in a board game. You know, your that you used to, use well, but you don't even need those anymore. That's kind of like getting rid of a certain section in your civilization to replace it with the upgraded version. Wallace really captured the feeling of a civ building video game here, I think. Now, there's no conflict. There's no war or anything, so me saying, oh yeah, I played Age of Empires as a kid, half the time you're trying to build up your defenses for another army coming in. That's not here. That's not the style of game. But I will say that I think part of my it did help, I would say, to understand this game because I had played some of those other games in the past.
So a real-time strategy economic simulation video game series, which of course, economic game, a lot of times you think of Martin Wallace. So yes, the first one that was released was Anno 1602 in 1998. It was Anno 1800 in 2019. It's Ubisoft.
Yep. And they have their stamp on this somewhere right down there, the official product.
So I'm not a video game player myself. I like watching Matt play video games because I can't jump on the screen, and I also want to collect all of the things. So yeah, when you're talking,
makes Lego Star Wars a lot of fun, everybody.
I love it. I collect all the things. But this would maybe be interesting. I don't think I've ever played a civ building even computer game before. So I like how you start off in like early England 1800s, right? And you're giving somewhat relatively basic industry and machinery. And then you're upgrading as you're going along the way. You're working on your engine, sometimes literally, and you are building your empire here.
One of the things I like is that if you really don't want to get rid of anything, you can just expand the old world and get yourself a new board that has 4 land spots and 2 ocean spots, which is nice.
So I think the somewhat elephant in the room is talking about the exploration aspect of this game.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but you are exploiting the resources of the old world and the new world. You aren't doing that necessarily through military combat here, but there is definitely colonization that is going on here.
Yeah, this falls into the the fantastic video that No Pun Included did about just colonization themes in gaming. So what I will say, if you remember from the overview, I can't say that word today. When you head to the New World, you get 3 new cards of 3 new citizens you're trying to complete those objectives. That's pretty much it. There's no, like in Empire's Age of Discovery, you have to go, when you discover, you do have to fight the Native Americans. Here, that's not there. It's just you get more people, and that definitely gives you the feeling of this game is never going to end, because you keep trying to get stuff, because you know in order to fulfill somebody's objective that's an 8-pointer, you need something from the New World. So you are going to, maybe not the actual resource, but you need that resource to build the thing.
Yeah, by people you get, let's rephrase that too. We're not talking slaves and or slavery. We're talking about customers.
Yeah, the cards you get and the products they want.
Orders you are trying to fulfill. I think it's a somewhat tricky slope here. It can be a tricky slope here. I don't know, and again, not having played the video game, I don't know how that aspect fits in that part of the game. But it's unfortunate because you can't really win the game or continually upgrade your industries and resources without going to the old world or the new world. I don't think you can win without doing it.
I think with the old world, the theme is you're just expanding your property in England, right?
Possibly. I mean, if you want to be thematic, it's England expanding its territory.
That's true.
In the old world. Which England did a lot in the 1800s. Yay. I think they're really trying to make it seem like you are trading.
Right.
That there's like a tit for tat kind of thing going on here.
Which, can we talk about trading?
Yes.
I love it in this game. I don't need to have every single resource. I can just need those trade tokens. Jenn gets some money, and I can just use that resource instead of. There's a formula in Seven Wonders Duel of how much you have to use and spend to get that resource. Here, it's nice and on the board.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need everything like you do in that, like in some other Civ building games. It's like, oh, well, Jenn already got that tile. It's never going back to the supply. I guess this person is someone I'm just never going to fulfill. Here it is. Very well done on the trade.
Yeah, and you definitely can't do all of the industries that are on the board either. And what's nice is that you can, as your action, is you can discard 3 of your customers and then draw 3 new customers that may better fit the strategy of industry you're going for. Aslan's playing with something on their chair.
Do you want to come up here? No, he's feisty.
No, he had his moment in Board Game Breakfast. He's not feeling it today.
Okay.
I mean, there is really a lot to do with this. I like the fact that there are no loans.
Probably the first economic Wallace game I've played where there's not a possibility of a loan.
Yeah, London has loans.
Yep.
The Brasses have loans. Lincoln, of course, doesn't. But that's not an economic game.
His economic games, yeah, there's no loans here.
Yeah. I think graphic design-wise, this was pretty easy to understand.
Not playing the video game, I don't know if these people are copied and pasted from the video game. So I don't know if they're screenshots or not.
Yeah.
At me, the internet. Tell me.
There's not a super lot of diversity in terms of the farmers and workers and artisans and engineers and investors cards. More of the diversity comes in with the New World cards. There are pirates that you can trade with, or pirates.
There's pirates you can attack. Like if you have the, they call them exploration tokens, but they have crossed swords, and then suddenly you'll get a card that needs 6 crossed swords, and the person on the card looks like a pirate. You don't have to tell me twice.
Yeah, there's also the expedition cards too, where you were trying to do some collecting of items. But again, this is England in the 1800s, where what's that joke that you tell? The dad joke?
Name something British that isn't really British. The contents of the British Museum.
So there's that going on here too. So I think there's some. This is a game to me that after you played it and you were interested in the historical time period, it gives some opportunities for folks to go and read some books out there about what was actually going on in England in that time period.
Yep.
And it felt somewhat thematic to me, this game.
Definitely. And like I said, out of my personal experiences with games that are Civ building on a computer, it definitely felt like a Civ game on a computer. I'm going to cover this spot because it's better than what I have there, and I don't need that anymore. So.
Yeah. Artwork was fine, except for the lack of diversity. I mean, there are male and female characters, customers that you are here. So I liked that. You know, your home board is England.
There were some resources that we weren't sure what they were, and there was a resource on the board. It looks like toilet paper.
It's fabric.
It's fabric. Sorry. But you have a nice card to tell you what it actually is. But once it got into my mind that it was toilet paper, that's what we call it in this house now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Manufacturing toilet paper.
Oh, they getting it from their silk mills and things like that out there.
That's some soft toilet paper.
Wow. Yeah, it's the most expensive that you will ever. Yeah, there was another one in the New World that looked like, was it supposed to be sheep or fur?
Yeah, it was supposed to be wool, I think.
Okay.
But it looked like goat cheese.
It did. So there were a couple of things.
It was like melting.
Yeah, that were unclear to us, but.
That didn't stop us from enjoying the game, though.
No, we're having a somewhat light moment. What does it actually say?
Cotton. Sorry, it's cotton.
Oh, yes. Okay, so yeah.
But when you look at it, it looks like it's melting, like goat cheese.
Yeah, so I mean, somewhat thematic here too, because you're trying to build up.
Oh, the milk is supposed to be rubber.
Oh wow. Okay, didn't get that.
Nope, we thought it was milk.
And historically, when you think about England and where they got the vast majority of their cotton, it was from
the U.S.
The U.S. and U.S. plantations.
So
I mean, there's another.
Understand the history before going into the.
Yeah, there's another aspect there too, which. Colonization and slavery. Yeah.
See if there was anything else that we were confused at what it was. No,
but like, you know, and for the New World too, you're getting chocolate, and then you're able to make cigars,
coffee,
sugarcane, tobacco.
So.
Again, so there's some of those things that are going on, which, yeah. Overall, would you recommend this game, Matt?
Yes, I think, especially if you really like Martin Wallace's work, this is just another notch for him to rest his laurels on. This is a really well done game. I can see one criticism that's going to pop up in this American style game versus Euro style game. The American style game fans are going to go, "Oh look, you're moving cubes around."
Oh yeah, you are cube pushing.
This is a cube pusher that literally, or cube puller, because if you have your cubes at the top of the thing, you're pulling your cubes down, and it's a cube puller. But if you can, if you're not a cube pusher puller fan, stay away. Go play Lincoln, which is another Wallace game that's well done, and it's more of a war game. But that's the only criticism I can see coming from the outside, is this does feel almost like a cube pusher game. But that didn't bother me. So I would recommend this game, especially for people who have played real-time strategy games. It's just missing the military.
Yeah, I would recommend this too, with the caveat of some of the things that we've talked about. And for some folks, what I've heard online is that they've liked it, but it's taken them much longer than the 120 minutes. I think if you are AP prone... Yes. This is not a game for you.
Yeah, can we talk about the 120 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
So, the first time we played it, it was just the two of us. And we were able to play it with the teach, because I had learned the rules over a few days. We were able to get through that in an hour and 45 minutes. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of the pace of this game. The second time we played it, and you and I are not prone to AP, it was an hour.
Yeah.
But we were also really trying to... Jenn and I aren't afraid of take that with each other. We're not.
No.
So
I
I
don't
think
there's a lot in here, though, do you?
I think the two of us were trying to play all our cards where it was get rid of 2 cards in your hand so we could end the game faster on the other person.
Yeah, there are some customers who allow you, once you've fulfilled their order, that you can discard cards from your hand, and that's how I ended the game. That's a game end trigger, having no cards in your hand.
Or you're playing the card that allows you to play more actions.
Yeah, there's that too. So there is flexibility in terms of, I mean, once you have cards in your hand, they're not stuck in your hand.
No, as long as you can find ways to get that. There are some, and I believe I talked about this in the overview, there are some objective cards that are activated in-game that can help you with fulfilling the end-game condition. Because you're going to get to that point very early on where you're fulfilling orders and suddenly you've got a lot of cards in hand and you're saying to yourself, I'm not sure how this game ends.
Yeah.
But it will, and it does. I promise.
Yeah, there's definitely a point where you have to have more to lose more. Does that make sense?
I was throwing cards out that gave me more workers in the end because I didn't need more workers. I just needed to upgrade to purples and teals because that's what I needed to fulfill my big point orders was the industries that needed the purples or the teals. So I was throwing out a lot of cards that gave me 2 new blue or 2 new red. I'm like, because then you have to pick those cards too, and I don't want to pick more cards. It's just, there's too much. But it's Martin Wallace.
I'd be curious how this plays at 4 players. I think our friends Mike and Emily might like this one. And they too are not AP prone. Especially with the trading, to see how that goes. And to see if it's more along the 120 minute frame.
It probably will be. I've noticed with a lot of games, with the criticism of the box lies, I think the box tells the truth for the max players.
Probably. Yeah. So that is Anno 1800. This is a keeper.
Yeah.
For us. I feel like we don't say that a super lot in this house.
No.
Or, you know, if we've enjoyed something that maybe it's just not, we already have something like it, or it's just better suited at the library. But this is a keeper for now. And those are my final thoughts.
Thank you to Kosmos for sending this to us. Oh, there he is.
Aslan the Ginger Jerk. We'll see you next time, folks, and thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.